Right, we should be live. I'll just double check. So I'm getting spammed by invites from Energetics. Yep, we are live. Welcome everybody to the stream of the Australian Grand Prix. Now hopefully you might be surprised to see that I'm streaming and commentating, but it is in fact because my internet has supposedly been fixed. So hopefully we'll have no problems with that, and yeah, looking forward to commentate this race. I'm unfortunately on my own today, so hopefully you guys won't be too bored with me. Evening everyone, I see Jonathan Cox and Becca in the chat. Yeah, I'll be trying to keep you entertained, but I'm sure the racing will do that as well for this Australian Grand Prix. We are missing some big names tonight. I do believe Young Lights is not racing, which is unfortunate and significant for the championship actually, because he is now right up there. He doubled his points tally with a win last time in Brazil. So yeah, that bit disappointing for him, but we have got Andreas, I do believe, coming back for this race, if I'm not mistaken, although he's not in the lobby at the moment. So yeah, we're just waiting now. 5 minutes ago. Velocity slacking from comms already. Yes, he is. It's pretty shocking. And I've actually also been rejected by TJ Furface. His internet's too bad, but I believe it's personal. So yeah, I'm just on my own, but hopefully I'll do alright today. I've even got a list of some facts of the Melbourne GP in case I run out of stuff to talk about. So very professional if you ask me. As always, actually, of course. You got this, as Velocity only lets you down anyway. Oh, very harsh, but yeah, I mean, hopefully I can do a good job anyway. Just makes it a bit harder to keep up with everything going on track, but I'll do my best to switch to what battles are going on and keeping you informed anyway. Yeah, I mean, you can probably... Actually, I can send you the link to the website, because I've all got it off one website, Trofters, and it had absolutely loads. It was brilliant. There were some really interesting ones in there as well, actually, but I'm not going to whip them out quite yet. I believe they need to be deployed at the right time, because I've noticed that's something that Ginger Rage does very well. You better get ready for Chuckle Vision on Saturday. Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully the race will be good, because I do believe Droftas is bringing a guest commentator, so that will be interesting to see. I do believe it's quite a high-profile one as well, so that adds to the hype. Don't know what else will do that. So far, got 17 drivers in the lobby. Total P's is now the I think he's now the championship leader. Actually, if I just get up the standings here. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, I thought I had them saved on my phone. This is very unprofessional. I can only apologise. Let's get the standings up. Yeah, Total Peace is now the championship leader, leading from Andreas in second, and then Young Lights in third, but unfortunately not racing with us today. Then Droftas in fourth. He's not far off, you know. He's only 7 points back from the leader, and yeah, Andreas obviously, who was the championship leader so far, but P's taking over that lead after Andreas couldn't race in Brazil. Milan then 10 points back, and Dan Murphy 4 points further, and then ending out the top 10 we have Knowlesy, but we've got some quick guys. I mean, to be honest, all the way through the grid we got some quick guys, so it's going to be, I think, close the whole way through this season, which is excellent because we love a title fight, and we were very fortunate to have an epic one last season between Dan and who was it? I can't remember the name. The Norwegian guy left. That's terrible of me. But anyway, it was a two-wave title fight. We've got I think we're on for maybe more for this title fight. High profile com, Harry Walker, yeah. But anyway, yeah, we are minutes away. No, in fact, we are at 8 o'clock, so everyone's readying up. And yeah, get ready to commentate for qualifying in Q1. And looks like we've got 17 drivers today, and I do believe we're not having Andreas again, so that might be a blow for his championship ideals. We have got Emerson just in, although he hasn't picked. Is he going to have time to pick a car? Oh, he has, just in time. So 18 in the end, but significantly no Andreas. So we're only going to see 3 people knocked out in this Q1. But luckily, I mean, you know, it's still worth doing a Q1. I think it adds to the excitement, especially with strategy in Q2, and it makes for a much better shootout. I was one of those who pushed for us to go to full qualifying after last season. I think it has helped the excitement of qualifying, although it does obviously make it a bit longer. We got 13 viewers now. Lovely to see that. And yeah, we're about to get underway for qualifying at Australia. This Melbourne circuit. The first race here was in 1996. Took over from the Adelaide Grand Prix. It held 2 non-official F1 races before, but they weren't championship races. So it's actually relatively recent. Well, so relatively recent. It was 2 years before I was born, the first race here. But yeah, usually, of course, the opener. Oh, and we have heavy rain by the looks of it for qualifying. We've had rain for practically every single qualifying session in VIL, and we've got it again. Heavy rain. Well, I know someone who's going to be very happy with that, and that is Droftas, because he's an absolute wizard in the rain. So this should be very, very interesting indeed. Who's going to be first out? Let's see. Looks like a Ferrari is coming out first. And that is the Dutch flag. Is that Willem? I think it's Willem. We've also got a Red Bull coming out. Let's just get the track map on and everything. There we go. And I do believe that is Willem, whilst I wait for this to update. It's not, it's Phil Razor. I forget he's Dutch as well. And yeah, it's a full wet tyre. And this is going to be interesting to see how people are going to cope with these full wet conditions. Because a lot of the times they've been intermediates, not full wet conditions. So yeah, very fascinating to see how this plays out. We've got 3 people out at the moment. Got to be careful really on this outlap, because of course can easily bin it. I'm not sure if anyone can let me know what the weather is for the race. It'd be very interesting to know. But qualifying is still very, very important. And it's not the easiest track here to overtake. You can overtake, of course, but it's not. I wouldn't say as easy as Brazil. But then again, these guys overtook easily around Zandvoort, so I think that's not really an issue for them. But interestingly, the furthest back from the grid someone has won from where they qualified was David Coulthard, I do believe, and he went from 11th to 1st. So yeah, qualifying position is important, but it has been done before from quite far back, and of course in league racing it's even more chaotic than real life F1, and I'd argue a bit more entertaining at the moment, even as a Hamilton fan. So Phil Razor's going to start his lap. He's the first one on his flying lap. Let's see what Phil can do. As he goes down to turn 1, he's got a bit of traffic, but I'm sure they'll get out of the way. It's from a Renault. Oh, careful not to invalidate there. He's managed to keep going, and he hasn't invalidated. As he goes down to this corner where, of course, Alonso and Gutierrez had that pretty horrific crash. Alonso flipped several times over the gravel and was very lucky to walk away, but luckily he did. And here is the Phil gang, and they'll be happy to see their guy on screen at the moment because he's the first out. And Arthur Grande saying, "Phil, we love you." And after a decent home race last time, I mean, I'd say home race because of course it was Brazil where all the fans were, he got P6. Perhaps could have been even more, but he'll be looking to. He's still looking for that first podium. He's been very close a couple of times, but let's see what he can do on this lap. Come around This is so easy to invalidate here, and it's so easy to spin it. We've seen several cars spin it here, certainly last season, but Phil's got through there lovely. He's done that well. Coming now, start sector 3. Looks nice and tidy. I'm not really sure what a quick wet time is around here, so but we know that Phil's quick, so this will certainly be of use to everyone here. He's gone a bit wide there, little slide, but he's coming through the final corner. Can he keep it on the track? He can, and this will be the first timed lap, and it is a 1:36.4. And there is a Red Bull behind, which is Infamous Pillars, who goes second with a 1:36.5. We've then behind him, is that on a flying Haas? It is. It's Emerson. He goes fastest, 1:36.9092. So that's 4/10 quicker. We got Total P's, who of course was last week's. Is the championship leader currently, and has a win under his belt. Now coming across the line, and it's a 1:35.9, and one to look out for as well here. Well, oh, we got someone in the wall there, and that's Energetics on his outlap. That's not ideal for him, as we see the time starting to come in. German with a 1:37.3. But what I'm trying to get to is Droftas, because this guy is an expert in the wet usually, so this will be very interesting to see what time he can put out. The time to beat now is 1:35.7, as Milan has set the fastest time. 1:35.747, and that is an excellent time, 2/10 quicker than Total P's. Still no news on like what the weather conditions are like for the race, or if it's going to get drier. But I imagine qualifying is going to be full wet throughout. Not sure about the race though. It'd be interesting to see what that is. He's got a Williams in front. I think that's a Total P's maybe on his in lap. Droftas having to deal with some traffic on this lap, as we hear some horns in the crowd. I reckon they're the Phil gang actually, who travelled to Australia virtually to support him on. Phil currently sitting in P4, of course, and he's done well through there. Quick section, quite stable. Oh, Andreas has joined us. So he should be there for the race. This obviously means he will be starting P19, but so he will be looking to break that real F1 record of being 11th to 1st, being the furthest back. But if anyone can do it, it can be Andreas, who of course was the championship leader until Brazil. Here comes Droftas now, round the final corner. What time is he going to deliver? The time is a 1:35.6 now to beat, as Infamous Pillars has gone quicker. What can Droftas do? This is looking quick. It is quick. It's a 1:34.9. Wow, that's nearly 7/10 quicker than Infamous Pillars' time. And I did say it looked quick, so I'm going to pat myself on the back for being right for once. Energetics, he's currently starting his lap. No, he's not. He's invalidated. That's frustrating for him. Got Dan Murphy, the current defending champion, on an outlap. F1 Fast still in the we got in the pits. We got Willem. He's on a lap. We'll stay on board with him. We've also got Jonathan. Oh, and he's invalidated it. I do apologise. We'll stay on board with Jonathan Cox. Although he doesn't seem to be going. No, he's not on a flying. So we'll change to Walker's on an outlap. So is Total P's going again? We'll see from his Sector 2 time. Of course, in the wet, it's worth doing a few runs before you come back in the pits, and I think that's what the majority have done. Also worth noting that Asker Kome has moved up the 1:35.8. Asker Kome had a brilliant race in Brazil, and P's definitely on a lap because he's done a purple Sector 2, but it's worth noting that Asker Kome had an absolutely brilliant race in Brazil. He got P2, and that was on his in his first race in VIL. I'm not sure if he's a full-time driver or a reserve, but either way, he's a very, very quick guy. And he's looking quick around here, as I said, P4 currently, but Total P's looking like he's going to improve his time if Sector 2 is anything to go by, unless it's that glitch. Coming around the final corner, what can he achieve? This is looking quick again. It's not quite quick enough for pole, but he has improved significantly, and he's now 1:35.3. Droftas in the pits. I say pole, it's the fastest in Q1. I do apologise, I'm being stupid there. Emerson also on a... Let's see if he's on an lap. Pillars in the pits. Milan on outlap. Asker Kome looks like he might be going again. German on outlap. People yet to... well, Emerson's gone a 10th quicker there, so he's definitely one to watch. People who haven't set times yet. Energetics, Dan Murphy, Farth, Fatality, Willem, Jonathan Cox, Walker, Lost Souls, and Nolsey. And as we said, we will be having 19 on the grid because luckily Andreas has joined us. And Blaze has done a 1:35.6. Now, Blaze, I don't believe, has raced yet in VIL, but not a bad first impression to make with that time. He's currently third fastest, look 2 milliseconds quicker than Emerson Hilton. And looks like, speak of the devil, Emerson Hilton has invalidated. We've had a few different times here. Walker's gone third fastest with 1:35.9, 1:35.509, sorry. Nolsey goes second fastest, 1:35.057. And that, I thought I saw something happen as I flicked through, and it was Walker, who's obviously... he has to reset to track then, to be fair. If he didn't do that, he probably would have been disqualified. So I don't think we can judge him too harshly on that. He obviously lost it. Dan Murphy has set his first time, and there's some wing damage, and it is Dan Murphy. Struggling in these conditions. Energetics doesn't seem to be a fan of the wet conditions either. But he's looking to set a time. He hasn't set a time yet. Lost Souls, 1:55.4. I imagine that was a... seems a very slow lap, so I imagine something went wrong there. Energetics is now going to cross the line. It's a 1:36.563, so that puts him in P11. So we're just waiting on Farth, who is now coming round the final corner to set the time. So we have Nova in the chat, which is good to see, and it's a 1:36.4 for F1 Farth. Fatality also on a lap, although this looks like it's not a flying, or I hope not anyway, because it's looking very slow. So, Willem, Jonathan Cox, Andreas. Andreas is in the pits. Can he take control of his car, I wonder? I'm not 100% sure, but he's suddenly there on my screen. So, if he can, that would be great, because that makes it much more entertaining for the title fight, which, as I say, is looking brilliant at the moment, isn't it? And we're very fortunate to see that. We've... Have we got anyone on a lap? Walker's coming into the pits. Askakome's on a lap. Coming into Sector 3 now. Or is he coming into the pits? We'll stick on board in case he isn't. He's had a slide. I presume now he'll be coming into the pits. Yes, he is. Nolsey going slowly. He's invalidated. And looks like most people have done their first lap times. And this is how... So currently, everyone who's set times is through, of course. German having a big slide on there, but he's managed to hold it, and he's going to set a time, and he is surely going to improve on that 1:37.3. This looks a lot better than that time anyway, because of course currently he's right on the cusp of the danger zone. He does do better. He's got up to 12th with 1:36.4. So that puts Dan Murphy in the danger zone with a 1:37.2. Fatality, Willem, Jonathan Cox, Andreas. Oh, and Jonathan Cox there. He was on a flying as well. He's gone to the inters. And I was about to say, it seems to have dried up a lot in terms of the volume of rain coming down. Maybe not on the track, and maybe Jonathan Cox misjudging that, going on the inters, having less grip. We'll have to see. But yeah, either way, he's got wing damage. And oh, who's that round? That's one of the Mercedes. And that was a lot of wing damage, and it's not Walker, so that must be... it was German, I do believe. And yeah, a lot of people getting wing damage. No retirement so far, though. Let's hope it stays that way. We want people to get in on merit. Droftas is currently sitting top, obviously, with that 1:34.9. He's on the intermediates, but he's currently 2/10 slower. So perhaps not quite the intermediates times, but it does look like we are going to be switching to intermediate conditions at the moment. And let's see what he can do in Sector 3. As I said, he was 2/10 down in Sector 2. So we see a yellow flag. I think that's just a Renault going slowly. As I look at my track map. Can Droftas go even quicker on these intermediates? Is it about the time for intermediates? We're about to find out whether Droftas could improve or not. We've seen some people struggle on the inters, and Droftas very close to improving on his time, actually, with a 1:35 flat. Is he going again? It looks like he might be going again. And I'm guessing the track is only going to dry out a bit more now that the rain is so much lighter, so perhaps those conditions will eventually favour the intermediate tyre. I think that's what most people are thinking. Total P's also on an outlap, Walker on an outlap. We've got Pillars on a flying as well. I'll try and switch to as many people as we can, and he's 6/10 up on his time, so the intermediate's definitely working for him. Pillar's about to cross the line, going through the final corner. What time can he set? This is looking very good. Jonathan Cox saying rain is rubbish. Yeah, it certainly is for grip, and very difficult conditions out there. And yes, he can go better, and that just shows the intermediate's now definitely the quicker tyre, as he gets 9/10 quicker, and he gets a 1:34.6, and he's 3/10 quicker than Droftas. But Droftas going again, he is almost a 10th down on his time in Sector 2. Indeed, and why is it... Oh, he wants the detail. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Thank you for the request. Also, it'd be interesting to know what the weather conditions are like for the race. I'd love to know. Is it going to be a wet race or dry race? What are we looking at? Or was it just yet again another wet quali? We will see. Hopefully someone will get me that. Or if not, I'll just wait to the race. It's no big deal. Droftas coming around the final corner. It is dry. Thank you, Jonathan, for that. So it is dry conditions. And Droftas improves a 1:34.5. He's 4/10 quicker. Only a 10th quicker than Infamous Pillars, though. So... and for Droftas, that's quite amazing considering how quick he is in the rain. So that Pillars can be proud of that lap, that he's so close to Droftas. Pease is back in the pits. Phil Razor going slowly, getting out of people's way. Andreas is out. He's set a time. It's a 1:35.4. Will he be trying to set another time? So perhaps a good result is still on the card, and Andreas can regain that championship lead so far. We'll stay on board with... the man second in the championship at the moment with 51 points. Interesting fact actually about qualifying here is that Lewis Hamilton has been on pole for every single race since 2014, but only one of those races he has won, which was 2015. Previous years he's lost out to Vettel. He's lost out obviously to Bottas most recently in 2019. So Hamilton struggles to convert poles into victories here, although he does enjoy qualifying around this Melbourne circuit. Andreas looks like he's backing off, is he? I think he is. He's letting a McLaren go through. Oh, that was interesting. That was someone spinning. I think that was German. They reset to track, but it was Dan the McLaren that was going through. Let's see what he can do. The championship defender, and he goes up to P4, 34.6. And that's the track will obviously keep getting quicker unless the rain obviously improves. Ascacome on a lap, he's 9/10 up, but he's just invalidated, and it's so easy to do it through there as well as lose it. Have we got Walker on a lap? No, he's 7 seconds down. Pease is now on his out lap. He hasn't had a proper go on the intermediates yet. Still on his time from those full wets. It's a bit risky on the out lap to get a bit on the grass there, but Wilhelm, is he starting a new lap and going for it? We'll have to see. Is anyone further down the grid? We got a Red Bull. It's Ascacome, and he has gone 5/10 quicker, 1:35.1. Very respectable time there, and yeah, as I said, I mean, with a wet qualifying, Pillars retires, he thinks he's safe. And Droftas has just done a 1:33.8. That's 4/10 quicker. That's unbelievable. I don't know how I missed that. But I guess it was because the position didn't change. But wow, that's a huge improvement. And I don't know why he's, I guess maybe race practice or whatever, but don't know, not sure why he's risking it. He's obviously safely through with that time. Probably the top 6, I would say, probably comfortably safe. Currently in the drop zone, we have German, Energetics, Fatality, and Jonathan Cox. Fatality and Jonathan Cox yet to set a time as Droftas goes into the pits. Walker's not on a lap. Knowlesy is a second quicker through Sector 2. This is looking good. If he's a second quicker through that sector alone, this is looking very good. As Dan Murphy goes quickest now, beating Droftas' time with a 1:33.7. And as that's the end for Q1, and the only people who've crossed the line now will be able to finish their lap. Knowlesy clearly safe, but he's obviously looking for a very good time here, especially with that second sector, and it is unbelievable. The only person so far to break it to the 132 is a 132.9. Milan goes second with a 33.4. Is anyone else on a lap? Walker is on a lap. I'm not sure if it's a flying or not. Well, Ascacoma is 5/10 up. Walker, he is on a lap. Pillar's still the only one to obviously retire after going through. Well, Dan Murphy's moved all the way down to 5th after that really quick time, as Lost Souls, Milan and Knowlesy have put in... sorry, Knowlesy's already put in the time, but yeah, they've put in those times. Ascacoma up to 2nd with a 133.4. What can Walker do? He was looking very quick, and the track seems to just be getting quicker. And it is only good enough for 133.9, which is 7th, but he's still safely through. Energetics is now through by the looks of it. He's down in 10th. So currently, Willem has retired, and Willem is now out. Andreas also in danger. He's in the pits. Andreas is out of Q1. This is extraordinary. Phil also in danger. I think he might just get it through Jonathan Cox on a lap, but he should be safe. And it looks like Phil has just squeezed through there, as the track got so much quicker in the end, and I think some people got caught out with the intermediate tyres. They invalidated or whatever, because obviously the track was getting so much quicker, and Emerson went quickest in that session in the end with a 132.6. And disappointing for Andreas. He is now out of qualifying. He obviously 16th, 17th, 18th and 19th. We are losing. So we're losing Fatality, F1 Farth, Willem and Andreas. And apparently Jonathan Cox is saying there's a clear patch in 10 minutes. So we may just have a, right at the very end of Q2, a dry shootout. So we will have strategy to contend with after yet another wet qualifying session. As we see Total P's car there getting 4th in Q1. And interestingly, he dropped us down in 9th, but of course he was really safe anyway, so he didn't really need to push from that. And Emerson was the fastest in the session. And as I say, we lose Andreas, Willem, F1 Farth and Fatality. And yeah, frustrating for Andreas, definitely. He joined the session late, and it wasn't good enough. He missed out just under a 10th to Phil Razor. But I'm sure the Phil gang are delighted either way. Into qualifying 2 now, and it will be interesting to see if that weather forecast is correct, for the fact that there will be a clear patch in 10 minutes time, because then, as I said, that will bring strategy into it, and should make qualifying even more interesting. So yeah, we'll hope for a clear patch. The rain does look like it's easing off, so I think that does seem to be the case. But who is going to be first out? Of course, I have this stupid decision of whoever goes out first, I ride on board for the first lap. Not sure really why. I guess just easier to decide who I go on board in. German's saying a tornado in Q3. Well, that's the case. Qualifying will have to be suspended, and the race will have to be decided on Q2, because red flags are definitely a thing in this game. No, but that would be interesting weather setting, wouldn't it? And looks like a Ferrari out first. An Alpha. I can't quite see from the track map. It is Energetics. He is first out, so he will get the spotlight. He's always loved the spotlight, Energetics, and very good driver at that. And I think he'll be pleased that it's drying up, because he's a lot quicker in the dry than the wet. But he's getting the spotlight. Well, I mean, this is a great view of some tents, isn't it? Some excellent views of some tents. The cameraman obviously boycotting Energetics' car there for some tents. But big up the tents, I guess. And big up the crowd for these very wet conditions, the virtual crowd. And oh no, he's invalidated his outlap. He'll be devastated by that. We've also got on outlaps Phil Razor, Jonathan Cox, Infamous Pillars, and now Milan. Androftas has also joined them. He'll be a bit disappointed with it drying up, I think, because obviously he is so quick in the wet. Although he's also very quick in the dry, so I don't think it means that much. As we get a lovely onboard view of energetics, and that looks like a very nice helmet actually. The orange, presumably for the Netherlands, and the Alfa, it goes really well with his Alfa Romeo car, to be fair. Oh, little loss of the back end there, but oh, big one, big slide there, big tank slapper from energetics. Hopefully he doesn't have any of that in his lap, because that will significantly impact him as the Renault slows down, and I think that's a blaze on his outlap, and another big slide from energetics, perhaps warming up those tyres. Either way, here he goes, starting his lap. Energetics into this first corner. Also another easy corner to invalidate, but he's done that very well indeed. Got a nice wide line coming down into, well, I guess you could call this a hairpin. I'm not 100% sure actually whether you could, but and he's coming into the end of Sector 1 now. Got to be careful not to get too much on the curb, because you can lose it, especially in wet conditions. I've experienced with that. And I've just noticed, because it resets every time, that we don't have the lap data on all the fitted tyre, actually. That's my bad. It resets every time the game, so I always have to remember that. But energetics here in Sector 2. And it's looking like a tidy lap so far. Of course, very difficult to judge. He's the only one, of course, we're seeing on track. Sorry. Crucial not to invalidate here. And he's managed that. Managed to keep control of the car as well. Needs to keep that up though as we go into this final sector, where of course he had a big tank slapper out of here on his outlap, but he has no such problem here as we go into this looping corner. Now this is definitely a hairpin, and it's a horrific one to get wrong. It could cost you a lot of time into the final corner. Energetics setting the first time on the board. And it's going to be a 1:32.3, so already quicker than the Q2 times. That's a Renault behind. What are they going to set? Is that Blaze? It is. No, it's Jonathan Cox, and he sets a 1:32.361. Incredibly close between those two. I'm just going to look as we ride on board with Droftas, but I think Phil is furthest ahead. He is. Phil will be the next one to cross the line, so we'll ride on board for him for now and then switch back to Droftas, because he's certainly one of the main contenders at the moment. But of course, if it is going to dry up, these times won't particularly matter. But I guess it's a big risk if you just gamble on that. Everyone is out apart from Lost Souls and Dan Murphy. Phil Razor goes across the line. He goes quickest in Q2. 1:32.352. We've also got Energetics, Infamous Pillars coming across the line with a 1:32.8. Milan a 1:32.6. Droftas goes fastest, a 1:32 flat. He's 0.3 quicker than the rest at the moment. Now, Total P's, he's quite far back on his lap in Sector 2. We'll keep an eye on that timings board as Walker's gone second with a 1:32.2. So I'm going to be having... this is when you could really do with a co-commentator. I look at both the track map and the timings board at the same time for any changes particularly. As we see Blaze do a 1:32.3. Total P's, though, we will stay on board with him. He's got a McLaren in front. Is that a McLaren in front? I think it is... no, it's a Renault. And that is either Jonathan Cox. So Knowlesy does a 1:31.7. That's 0.3 quicker as well. Either that was a very good lap, or the track is getting incredibly quicker. And there was a little tank slapper around Pease. That's by Pease out of that corner. So that will cost him some time, but not enough to stop it from being a very respectable lap with a 1:32.227. And have we got drivers going again? Because we did see Jonathan Cox is not going again. He's gone into the pits. Blaze is 3 seconds down, so I believe we won't be seeing him again. We've got a Pillars about to cross the line. I think he was slowing up, or was he? I'm not sure. There was a yellow flag either way. Well, if that's slowing up, I'd be concerned, because he has done a 1:32.4 as a yellow flag in Sector 2 as well. Next, Gurman has invalidated, so Emerson we will be on board with. As he crosses the line, what can Emerson do? It's a 1:33.1. He'll be disappointed with that. That puts him slowest out of the those that have set a time yet. Dan Murphy and Lost Souls to set a time. Although Dan Murphy's staying in the pits, obviously banking on that dry weather. But Lost Souls is not doing that. He is going out and he's on his outlap as we speak. My reserve driver, go, go, go. That's what Nova says. Who's your reserve driver, Nova? I can't remember who it is. Oh, Emerson, I presume. Or correct me if I'm wrong. We got a yellow flag in Sector 3. That will be for someone slowing up before they do their lap. Walker's retired. Walker's retired. Whereabouts is that on track? That's Sector 2, so it's right on board with Pillars, even though sorry, Ascacome. See if we can see what caused that retirement. I think he's binned it. He has binned it, and was Emerson. I was right for that. Yeah, no, it's a very good reserve driver. He'll be disappointed with his time, though. And yeah, we can't believe we've seen the first retirement. And that's Walker. That's very frustrating for him. He will not be taking part in Q3. Emerson doesn't look like he's going again. It's a shame we missed that crash, actually. Lost Souls starting his lap now. Really aggressively going over that curb. And it looks very dry on track. And German's currently sat on the softs. Oh, big crash. He's lost his wheel. And I have caught that on camera. Lost Souls completely loses it. And he's taken off his wheel. And that was a very, very nasty crash. And that's him out of qualifying. Very disappointing for him. One has now joined. He was, of course, the one, I was forgetting, the one who was in the championship battle. How could I forget that? That's really bad. With Dan Murphy for last season. And yeah, we've had our second retirement of the session. It's certainly getting drier because we've got mediums and softs. The strategy is going to be starting to come into play. Not dry enough yet, perhaps. And we have seen 2 retirements, so people obviously will want to be taking it careful after seeing that horrific crash. And yeah, no, I was quite impressed, Becca, myself as well. I think it was just pure luck that I managed to get that crash on camera, but I'm glad I did, because after I missed the Walker one, always love a good crash in a virtual game. It's one you know no one's going to get hurt, and also it's quite satisfying to watch, even though if it is gutting for the drivers. Certainly, obviously in qualifying, Lost Souls would be very disappointing, wouldn't have enjoyed that. But either way, we're on board at the moment with Blaze. He's on the intermediates. We haven't got anyone out yet on the dry tyre, although we've got plenty of people who have selected them ready to go out. So we'll keep an eye on that. Currently, obviously, Nolsey quickest in Q2 and currently being eliminated. Well, we know Walker and Lost Souls are out, and joining them at the moment, Dan Murphy, Emerson, and German. Milan would be safe because of... well, actually, German would actually also be... No, Milan would be the only one who would be safe out of that top 10 because of the retirements. Although he'll still want to put in another lap to make sure of that. And so yeah, we've got One joining us for the race, so that's good. That means we have a full grid now, which is excellent. Full grid for the start of the race. And Blaze, is he going to go in? Yeah, he is going to go in. Ascacome out. Looked like we had a driver emerging from the pits. Is that going to be Ascacome? It's definitely going in the pits. We're going to see the first person out on the dry tyres, and it's a Red Bull. That means it must be Infamous Pillars. It is Infamous Pillars. He's going out on the soft tyre. Not opting for the mediums. You can see there's a real... Most people... Well, there's a real split in strategies here. As you see, a lot of people selecting mediums, a lot of people selecting softs, of course, on strategy. And it's going to be a very interesting final 4 minutes. And obviously the track... I guess the later you leave it, it'll be better. It'll be better for lap times. As German's, yeah. Well, I just got the comment dropped out. He's absolutely flying on softs, and he has done a 1:22.8. I was too busy thinking Infamous Pillars was the only one out on track on the dry tyre, but yeah, I was wrong there. Should have been paying more attention, perhaps. He is not, because German, of course, just set that time on the soft tyres. Pillars about to start his lap. See, Droftus, you're already being a better co-commentator than Velocity. Just in the comments. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, that was very helpful, because I as a result, I was looking at the timing screens, waiting for that to come in as we see Pillars about to start his lap. Everyone else is leaving it a lot later, leaving it as late as possible, obviously, because the track will get drier and become quicker. Pillars is coming in. Pillars is coming in after all that. So, perhaps going to change to the mediums. Or perhaps he's gone too early. And we look like we have someone else about to exit the pits. It's an Alfa Romeo. Is it Energetics? No, we got an Alfa Tauri, sorry. Coming out. Is that Droftas maybe? We're about to see. It is Droftas. Coming out of the pits, and he's opted for the soft tyre. Oh, Velocity wants an invite to the party. He said to me that he would be out till 10. Well, we'll wait till the end of Q2 because I don't want to interrupt the stream. So we'll wait till the end of Q2 before I invite you. And actually, that's quite handy because it means I can go quickly to the loo before the start of Q3. But yeah, for now we will wait to invite you as we see the famous VIL _ Velocity joining the session. The big boss. Energetics on an outlap. Dan Murphy also on an outlap at the moment. But Droftas is going to be the next one to set the time on the softs. Slowing down a bit in this middle sector. Perhaps thinking he might have gone a bit too early. Hoping for the track to dry a bit more before he starts on his way. We've also, as I said, we've got Dan Murphy on an outlap. He is directly, he's not directly behind, but he's the next one behind on track to Droftas. Then we've got Energetics. So I'll try and remember that order so I can switch between the two and catch the end of each one of those laps as we come to the finale of Q2, the culmination of Q2 here as Droftas begins his lap. Foot to the throttle, across the line, and begins his lap into Sector 1. Now this is very important, of course, because everyone is going to be setting way quicker times, so you don't want to invalidate now, because you're not going to have time to set another lap, and you are really screwed if you set a time only on the intermediates. Droftas starts his lap then. And it's looking quite nice and tidy. You've got to really attack this corner, but at the same time be careful not to invalidate and spin it. And he's done that very well. We've got a yellow flag, but that's just for cars slowing down at the moment. And Droftas now coming into Sector 2. Oh, bit of a bumpy exit there onto the grass, and have got a bit of the curb. Now coming to this famous chicane here, the way you can so easily invalidate, but also spin out on the exit and end up in the wall, as we saw last year. A simultaneous, both Ferraris crashing exactly the same time at exactly the same place, which was beautifully captured by Velocity on that stream for last season. Droftas now throwing that car into the final sector. You just really need to be so aggressive here, as you do most tracks, to be fair. And although it's more risky, it can really pay off. And let's see how it is paid off for Droftas, what sort of time this is going to be. And we're looking at a 1:20.6. Now let's quickly go to Dan Murphy. He was next down the road. He's on the mediums. Dan Murphy on the medium tyre, wanting to start on those mediums. What's he going to do? Comes across the line. It's a 1:21.6. Obviously currently puts him second, but that doesn't really mean much because we wait for everyone else. Energetics is... Oh, he's invalidated right at the final corner. Oh, that is devastating. That could be him out of Q2. We'll have to see how the others go. Ascacome with a purple Sector 2. As we see Jonathan Cox move up, he did a 1:21.2. German obviously is the only other one who set a time, but we're about to see one from Ascacome. And Famous Pillar's getting incredibly close to Droftas's time there with a 1:20.667. And here comes Ascacome across the line. He is on the soft tyre. What's it going to be from Ascacome? It's going to be quickest in the session with a 1:20.261. As we see, I'm trying to keep up. Emerson goes to the 1:20.9. As we see the times and people tumbling down the leaderboard. And I tell you what, we're now waiting on... Oh, German's invalidated. So we are only waiting on Phil Razor. And Phil Razor gets through. And that knocks out German... And, well, we're about to see the full list, but I believe that knocks out German, Energetics, of course, the two who retired in Lost Souls, and Walker. So some very quick people knocked out and Blaze joins them. So I'm going to quickly invite, before we go to the next session, if you excuse me, stream, Velocity, who will temporarily take over as I rush to the toilet, but I'll be back for Q3. So you won't be stuck with him on his own for too long, do not worry. So yes, I'll be with you in a second, and hopefully he will join.
And I'm here. So I'm assuming I'm taking over from Maz while he's having a shit. So here we go. As we've got Total Peas, Dan Murphy, Droftas, Emerson, Phil Razor, Jonathan Cox, Ascome, Milan, Knowlesy, and Infamous Pillars all into Q3. So who does that mean we have? Oh, Sugar. Who have we lost? Who have we lost today? I can't tell you. So we've got a driver coming out on track now. I think that's going to be... That is Jonathan Cox is out on track now.
Right, I'm back, and Velocity is here. That's good to know. Welcome, Velocity. Have you been watching the stream so far?
I watched a couple of people get knocked out, but I feel bad for Energetics, really. I know it's one of his best tracks, but...
Yeah, he was very unfortunate to invalidate right on the last corner, literally, because he would have got through as well comfortably with that time on the medium tyre. Of course, he does get the free choice, but yeah, frustrating for him. But he's starting in 12th, so he doesn't he's going to have to beat the F1 record. But yeah, I'll save the rest of the facts for the race.
Well, he's starting on the front row of the free choice of tyres, so it's not too bad. It's
yeah,
not
exactly.
Game over.
It's certainly not game over for Q3. Everyone on their outlaps, and really, you could see any one of these getting pole position, couldn't you? I'm looking at all the names there. I'm not seeing one of them that I think, no way they're getting pole. I think every single one of them's got a good shout.
Well, obviously everyone always puts in massive amount of practice for Australia at the start of other leagues and everything. We've got it in the middle of the season, but they're going to have kept some pace, aren't they? Like they're not going to. Jonathan Cox just started his lap anyway.
Yeah, we're on board with him now. Let me just enable everything because it never saves for some reason. Emerson also just started lap, but we will stay on board with Jonathan Cox as he was first out. As we got Brandon in the chat saying, "Yo, hello Brandon, good to see you in the stream." Jonathan Cox now coming through this first sector, and he sets a 26.5. Emerson sets a 26.4. So currently, Emerson in the lead in that battle. They're the two furthest up on the track, and they will be the two that will be setting the first two times pretty close to each other.
I didn't actually notice Emerson was in this session. I did actually realize
he was a late joiner.
But...
He joined with 5 seconds to go and quickly picked the Haas. He is the reserve for YouTube Nova. So yeah, we've actually got a full grid as well with Ono joining. So despite only having 19 in the end after Andreas joined late in quali, we have a full grid for the race, which is excellent to see. Jonathan Cox
looking nice and green, isn't it?
I think it's been well watered by the rain we had in Q2 and Q1, to be honest, and it really should be anyways.
There's a yellow flags of
Jonathan
Racing
Cox
Point.
Sets a 121, but he's not
moving.
Have a
look. He's just getting out of the way.
Has he got any damage? Emerson goes quicker though with a 120.158.
Yes, he's got damage. He's got no front left end plate. So
Phil's about to go across the line. Phil's about to go across the line here. What can he do? It's a 120 flat. Well, 120.072. Well, I would call a 120 flat anyway. Next up on the grid,
Droftas coming up.
Droftas, who is so quick in qualifying and in the race. Let's see what he can do. It's a 120.059 to
Peas
2 in the
invalidates.
120. That's frustrating for Total Peas. You want as many runs as you can. Dan Murphy now, next round. And what can Dan Murphy do? It's only good enough for a 124, which puts him slowest out of those who set times.
Comey's now coming through.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. 119.888, 2/10 quicker than anyone so far. Well,
That's an incredible lap there.
that is a brilliant lap, and we tough to beat. But Total Peas obviously invalidated his lap.
We've got Infamous Pillars now starting his lap, so he's just a little bit behind everyone else.
Yeah,
but...
we'll ride on board with him as Total Peas. It's still showing invalidated for me, even though he started another lap. So I don't know if he invalidated for this and the next lap.
It would be this and the next one because he invalidated on the exit of the final corner.
Oh, that is very frustrating for him then. So Pillars, the only one out there still who hasn't set a lap, of course, Milan and Nosey in the pit. They haven't come out yet to set a lap. But let's see what Pillars can do then. He does a 26.4.
Going very deep into that corner. And he's
not,
I don't think...
not 26.4
This isn't going to be
on the pace.
It's not going to be a pole lap.
No,
I can
it's
tell
not
you
going to
that
be a
now.
pole, but it still could be up there with a 126.4, considering that is what I think it was what Emerson got in the first sector, if I recall correctly. As careful not to invalidate there.
Definitely just a banker time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cautious line through there, you'd say, wouldn't you? Milan now on an outlap as well, worth noting that. Nosey also joining him on an outlap.
Don't know if it's just me or you can just see the little bits of time you can gain here and there, and it's maybe half a second off of what this guy can actually do.
Yeah,
so...
we know Pillars is quick. But he's not really shown it there with a 120.6, but we do know he's quick. But he might be on old softs. He probably is on old softs. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Andreas saying, "What's up, guys?" Yeah, and it's good to see Andreas back racing, and unfortunately not in Q3. Obviously, didn't make it into Q2 either. But good to see him in the chat, nevertheless.
Who is our championship leader now? It is
our championship leader is Total Peas, and then followed by Andreas, Young Lights, and Droftas. Currently, I looked at the standings just before we started. Who's ahead?
Didn't have the most enjoyable Brazil, did he?
No, he didn't. Milan is about to start his lap. He'll be the next one putting a time lap. We've got 3 people at the moment, and those 3 people, Pillars is probably going to go into the pits, and then after. But Milan and Nosey. Oh, that's not a good start to a lap. Not a good start to a lap at all for Milan there. Massive tank slapper.
You missed the Tokyo Drift track. Sorry, that was back in Japan.
Well, I mean, that must have surely compromised his first sector already. I mean, he's not getting full speed off the line.
Let's just say they won't now, his trousers, I reckon.
Yeah, it's not looking great. I think he's compromised that. So I think we'll go on board with Nosey, who's done a purple first sector. That was a good call from me, just saying. I deserve credit for that. No, I'm amazing. Yeah, Andreas explaining he had a bit of a nightmare in quali in terms of he came home late. He of course missed the start of quali, which did compromise him a bit, and he put 6 kg of fuel, so he didn't have time to make another run in. And that was when it was in the rain, of course, as well. So he compromised his pace even more. I didn't quite see what is the sector 2 time even come out yet. Did you see a Sector 2 sign, Nosey?
No.
He did no, neither did I. For some reason didn't come up. We were both just blind. Probably we were both just blind. As Blaze joins back.
Now.
See what Nosey can do then. Coming round the final corner. And just ahead of him, we see... It's actually a decent... Oh, as Nosey sets a 120.1. But just ahead of him, it's actually not that bad at the end from Milan to get a 120.2, considering obviously what happened at the start of his lap.
I think it would have been maybe even a 10th down on that, coming up to the first corner.
Yeah.
Nosey's looking quick. It's different to see him in Q3, I'd like to say. It's a nice sight, but it's not a sight we're used to seeing.
So everyone in the pits. Nosey will probably be coming in the pits. I wonder if Milan is going to go again. I doubt he has the fuel to go again, so I think he will just be going quick.
So who have we lost so far?
So far we've lost some significant names. We've lost, of course, Andreas. We've lost Lost Souls and Walker, who both had crashes in Q2 who retired from the session. We've lost obviously Energetics significantly, and we've lost Blaze, and a few others as well. But they're the main ones. He's invalidated anyway, but I think he was coming into the pits. Well, if he wasn't, he is now, of course. With that invalidation, Phil Razor's on his outlap.
He's run out of fuel.
Who's run out of fuel?
Nosey has run out of fuel.
Oh yeah, right at the end, but he should trundle into the pits. Phil Razor, the first one out to do his final run. So, and the only one now out on track at the moment.
I would say Nosey is going to be cutting it close.
Yeah, he is. He is indeed. Although there seems to be a glitch on this game where even if you don't make it to the line in time, you can still do a time lap, which is a bit odd, and I do think needs to be patched because people can get away with crossing the line with like 6 seconds, with time up by like a good 6 seconds and still do their lap. So maybe banking on that a bit. I'm not sure. But as you say, we'll be cutting it close. Emerson, Jonathan Cox and Dan Murphy now on outlaps as well. But Phil Razor's going to be the first one to start his flying lap.
Phil Razor's been extremely good in qualifying so far this season.
And he's been very quick, especially around this track. This has certainly been, well, in Q2 and Q1 it's been an incredible performance so far, and arguably his best one in qualifying, but only if he can obviously translate that into Q3. I mean, at the moment, he's in the second row. He's in
He's got to shave another 2 tenths off his time, and that's going to be difficult.
It is, but I don't put anything past these guys, of course. With the amount of practice and skill they put in, let's see what he can do in the first sector. It's he's nearly 2 tenths down on his time, so that's not looking that promising at the moment. He'll be frustrated with that. He's got to find a lot of time now, and I think it really does affect you as well when you're on a lap and you see, say, in the first sector you're nearly 2 tenths down. It does affect you for the rest of the lap because you're desperately trying to get back that time that you've lost.
He's gained it almost. That's a 10th back, and
oh no, that's it over. No. That is it over, and that's Phil Razor's qualifying over. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to put in another lap. Now, who's furthest on the out laps? Oh, we got someone on a flying. That's Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy's on a flying. Just behind him is that Emerson? It's Emerson who's behind him. Then we have the Renault. I think of Jonathan Cox. It's the Renault Jonathan Cox.
That's Comey, I think.
Yeah. That makes it easier to know who we switch to.
Total Pete's got an all or nothing one-stop, almost a one-shot qualifying here.
Oh yeah, 100%. If he messes this up, well, yeah, and that is time up. Everyone seems to be on a lap apart from Knowlesy, who's still on out lap. See, Knowlesy's surely not going to make it, but that glitch you really don't know, do you?
No, he's gonna make it. Dan Murphy is setting a fastest sector 2 there.
Yeah, he's
up on his time.
Phil Razor's retired, of course, in the pits because he knows it's over.
Started.
Yeah, he has started. Yeah, so that glitch really needs to be sorted because technically.
And there's nothing really we can do about it if I'm being honest.
No, of course, and it's not his fault.
Just gives him an extra 2 minutes.
Oh, bit on the grass there, Dan Murphy. That was slowed him down a tiny bit, but not significantly. Let's see what he can do as he comes through the final corner. Can he at least improve on his time? He can improve on his time. It's at 120.2, but he stays in P7. Next up was Emerson. Emerson now coming through the final corner. And it is a 119.7. He's currently provisional pole. Behind him...
Jonathan Cox is invalidated.
Jonathan Cox is invalidated.
Comey now. Can he improve?
Yes, he can. He's now on provisional pole. Droftas across the line. He only goes second fastest with 119.656. Milan now comes round the final corner. In front of him is Pillars. Pillars goes fourth. Milan, where can he go? He can go fifth with a 120.003. Total P's has not made it across the line.
Total P's actually invalidated.
Oh, he invalidated or something. That's frustrating, but that means that's qualifying over because Knowlesy's invalidated, and that means Asker Comey is your pole sitter. Well done to him.
His second race in the division, the league as well, and
he got P2 in Brazil.
Yeah, he's looking strong.
He is, and there's the confirmation. He got pole by 0.053 from Droftas, who is not a slow customer at all. Emerson in third, Pillars fourth, Milan fifth, Phil Razor in sixth, Knowlesy seventh, Jonathan Cox eighth, Dan Murphy 9th, Total P's 10th. But some of these qualifying positions I don't think are reflective of what they can do, because we've seen Phil Razor being really rapid around here. He just messed up that final lap. Total P's not even getting a lap in. He will be very frustrated with himself.
Well, I reckon there might be 2 or 3 safety cars around here, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I think strategy will play a part. And overtaking, of course, is possible here, but it's not as easy as some other tracks. Certainly isn't in real life. We see quite often not much action on track. I remember last year's Australian Grand Prix when Bottas won. The only action was off the line, and that was it. Bottas won by 20 seconds. It was an incredibly boring race. As Australia usually is, although 2007, 2008 were very entertaining. And you could even argue 2009 when both the Brauns made their first appearance in F1.
I think that's only because Barrichello decided he was just going to kill everyone.
Yeah. But either way, it was some entertainment, and a lot more we've had than we've had in previous years. Interesting fact, actually, about that 2007 race is that's the first time in F1's history since the first ever race that we've had 3 drivers on the podium on their debut for a new team. You had the winner of the race in Kimi Raikkonen making his debut for Ferrari. You had Fernando Alonso in second, making his debut for McLaren, and Lewis Hamilton in third, making his debut for McLaren. So that just shows how rare that is. And yeah, certainly an interesting fact that I pulled up.
I mean, surely that's got to be the best debut in Formula 1, though, ever.
What, Lewis Hamilton? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there are a few drivers who've won on their debut, but you have to go very far back. As we go for the formation lap here, Asuka Kome will run down the grid. Actually, Velocity, do you want to do the honours as you are very late to the party?
Okay, so basically I'm going to take you through from first till last. So we've got Asuka Kome starting us off in P1, then in P2 it is Droftas. These guys are taking a very quick formation lap, but
yeah,
then we've got
around.
Emerson, Infamous Pillars, then Milan. Phil Razor comes in 6th, Knowlesy, Jonathan Cox, Dan Murphy, and rounding off the top 10 is Total P's. Then the
championship
first of
leader.
The option tyres runners is going to be a Gunman. Then it's going to be Energetics, Blaze, Walker, Lost Souls. Then we've got the guys who didn't make it through Q1, which are Willem, Farf, Fatality, Andreas, and TNR One Ole, who did join late. So, predictions for the race?
Well, we've got an interesting amount of strategies. We've got 4 people on the hards. German going for the hards, Fatality, Andreas, and One. We've obviously got medium runners in Farf, Walker, Lost Souls, and then in the top 10, Dan Murphy, Jonathan Cox, and Olsey. It's difficult to predict because anything can happen, as obviously with safety cars. Asuka Kome looks very strong in race pace, but I'd also wouldn't rule out Phil Razor, who's looked very quick around here. Emerson and Droftas are definitely one to look out for. Total P's will definitely want to go up the grid, of course, as the championship leader. And Energetics, who's out of position, will certainly be looking to get some good points on board. And even as far down as Walker and Lost Souls, who are usually definitely at least in Q3 and certainly fighting up there for podiums most of the time.
I think Lost Souls really wants to get his DNF running.
Well, yeah, he's quick. He's been very unlucky in races, and today unlucky in qualifying, losing it. We saw that spectacular crash on camera. But obviously,
are you going to finish that sentence, or?
Well, I said he had a spectacular crash on camera. I thought I finished it. I apologise if it didn't come across that way, but Pillars has left the session. That's not good. We need someone to invite him back. Velocity, if you don't mind doing that. Because we're about to get underway for the race. It's giving me a weird camera angle. I'm going to change it. Lights out, and away we go. Asuka Kome got away decent, although my my leaderboard is lagging, but it's Asuka Kome who leads into turn 1. He's followed by Emerson and then Milan. Oh, what happened there? Asuka Kome losing out there. Got squeezed out, I think. And he's going for a dive bomb there. There's contact between Asuka Kome there and the Alpha Tauri. But currently it is in the lead and racing away. We have Emerson. and he's controlling the race as I wait for my leaderboard to update itself. It always seems to do this at the start of races. There we go. Well, it's updated Emerson in the lead, and that is Droftas in P2. Ascacome P3.
Struggling to get up to speed here.
He is. Milan in P4. Phil Razor is up to P5. Knowles in 6. Pease is already up to 8th, but he was a bit on the grass through there. He's made the move on Jonathan
racing
Cox.
point round. Farth is round.
We got Farth round. I've missed that.
So is Willem.
Energetics is through on Jonathan Cox. We've had obviously coming together between Farth, but at the front, it's Emerson, who is already pulling away a bit. Droftas in 2nd. That looks like Phil Razor's going for a move. He is going for the move, and he looks to have it done, but Knowlesy's coming back at him, going for that inside line, but that was never going to work. And Phil Razor's through, and look at the Renault of Blaze. He's going in there for it. He's not going to quite make it. And
I think he's going to have the run though, going on to there we go onto the back straight.
Yeah, he's got a lot better traction
for the whole straight. Is Blaze going to be able to outbrake and going into turn 1? No, he's going to tuck in behind.
Interesting. He would have had the inside line, but he's obviously waiting.
Well, it's not really a corner where you want to be going.
No,
side
true.
by
And Total
side, if I'm being
Peas
honest.
is right behind them as well. Look how close Total Peas is to the back of Blaze. Is Total Peas going to go for it? He is. That's an incredibly risky move. There is a bit of contact, but no damage by the looks of it. And Total Peas has made the position. He's up to P7 already.
Energetics is on the back of Blaze as well. So Blaze is on the pace, but.
Well, Blaze obviously started P13, so he's done really well to get up to P8. But yeah...
We have 3 guys who have gone into the pits. We've got One, Farth and Willem. All 3 of them have gone into the pits and have obviously suffered an issue on lap 1.
Well, currently we're looking at the battle between 8th, 7th, well, all the way up to 6th. It's, 5th. Phil Razor's leading the train.
Are actually side by side.
Walker and Jonathan Cox are also side by side. There's a bit of contact. They're both in the grass. They managed to keep it. Oh my goodness, that's a horrible crash. Dan Murphy has been swiped, and that was after rejoining the track. And that's a safety car. We said there would be one, and that was Jonathan Cox, who was side by side with, I can't remember who it was. But they then rejoined the track. I think it was Walker. He then rejoined the track. And then Dan Murphy didn't react. Well, I mean, there was nothing Dan Murphy could really react to unless he was superhuman. And he lost his wheel. We've got a lot of people in the pits. Emerson, the race leader, has pitted. We've also got Droftas. So that means Phil Razor is currently leading this race with Knowlesy in 2nd. But Emerson's pitted onto the hards. We've also got, well, the hard runners. This is excellent news. Andreas is up to 6th and he's on the hard tyre. Droftas is pitted for the softs again. So
well, this is what these 3 guys who were at the back are wanting to really get them back in. They're obviously a pit stop down. Only's coming back into the pit, so
yeah, he is, and maybe to get those soft tyres off. I'm not sure, but either way, practically everyone has pitted apart from the top 5, who are Walker,
Only's going on to the mediums.
Interesting. But yeah, apart from those top 5, everyone's pitted with Walker, Lost Souls, Jonathan Cox, Knowlesy, and your current race leader, Phil Razor. But, I mean, net leader is still Emerson, and he's on those hard tyres. He'll go to the end, but as we say, very good for these hard runners of Fatality, Andreas. That is just absolutely golden for them.
I'm just going to be honest. Can these hard tyres make it to the end?
I mean, I think around here they can. If you're careful with them, I think especially with their ability, and if not, I mean, I wouldn't count out a second safety car. So, yeah, I think it's far from over. Of course, we're waiting now for the safety car, but yeah, currently, as we say, the top 10: Phil Razor, Knowlesy, Jonathan Cox, Lost Souls, Walker, Andreas, Fatality, Emerson Hilton. The first, who's first out of everyone who's pitted so far, Droftas, Ascacome, and then further back you got Milan, Total Peas, Blaze, Energetics, Infamous Pillars, Gurman, Farth, Willem, and One, and our first retirement, Dan Murphy. Really horrific luck for him. Just nothing you could really do. I can't. It's a terrible memory of me who it was who came back onto the track, but they were in a battle with Jonathan Cox. They both went wide onto the grass, rejoined the track as Dan was going for a move, and took out his tyre. So I'm sure Dan will be incredibly frustrated with that. Pillars is in the pits. He's gone for the hard tyre. And as we're on to the safety car, I'll just give you some more facts. An Australian driver's never finished on the podium. around Melbourne. The
I
closest.
think that's one of the most famous facts.
It is. It is. And the closest was Daniel Ricciardo with P2, but he got disqualified. That was in his debut season for Red Bull. Phil Razor gets a 5-second penalty for collision with Knowlesy. Well, that, I presume, will be under investigation from the stewards, because you can get some very dodgy penalties under the safety car. Also, some interesting thing, the most successful driver here, obviously Michael Schumacher, but perhaps a more surprising fact is Australian Grand Prix is home to Kevin Magnussen's best ever finish in his career, when at McLaren. No, it was at McLaren, where he got P2 at McLaren, and until Carlos Sainz got that podium in Brazil, that was their most recent podium finish. Kevin Magnussen, of all people, who smashed that door so famously.
And Peter's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags while in the train with everyone else.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm sure he'll be frustrated about that and put that to the stewards. Safety car in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. How slow is Phil Razor going to do this? As I don't know if you heard a weird noise. That was because I was talking and then I put my bottle to my mouth.
How slow are you going to go?
That is the question. That is the question indeed. We've got 14 viewers still, who obviously gripped by what they're seeing, because we haven't had that many comments so far since the race has started.
Maybe they just don't like you.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them. But I think also the fact that you're here definitely means they were commenting before you were here, so I think it's also that. They're scared of offending the boss. As, well, Razor's not taking it slow at all. He's almost overtaking the safety car.
Gone into the pits. I'm really confused on that strategy call, but
maybe he's thinking he's going to go to the hards or whatever. But Knowlesy's now sped in the pit lane. That's a disaster for him. Phil Razor in first. Jonathan Cox behind him, very close behind him. I'm looking at the battles on track. Emerson
picked up a 3-second penalty there.
Emerson is just behind Fatality, of course, who's on those old hards. Yeah, he's surely got him here. Although that's good defending. Squeezes him. He's going to go round the outside. That's a brilliant move from Emerson. And he's now going to have the inside line. That was absolutely brilliant racing. Indeed, Droftas now right up behind Fatality. And he's lost a bit of time going on the grass, but he's still right behind him. I'm looking at the gaps. Let me know if I miss anything. There's a yellow flag. Someone spun it. It's Farth again. It's Farth again. I'm not sure if there was contact again or not. But Droftas looking to make that move. Look how close he is behind. He's almost going to lose his front wing if he's not careful. Becca's saying was there damage to Knowlesy. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, he did go into the back of Phil Razor, causing that 5-second penalty. So I think there must have been. That's probably why he pitted again. That's a very good point.
But Droftas is pretty much pushing his teammate around.
He is. He can't get any closer really without. Milan's retired from the session. He spun it in exactly that same point. Where, if you remember from commentating last season, Droftas just managed to get past Fatality before that, but exactly the same place where you surely will remember when you were commentating when those two Ferraris slammed round.
Yeah, we haven't had anything quite as spectacular since, I don't think.
Although we have had 2 retirements. Phil Razor into the pits. He will be serving. He's serving the 5-second penalty and going onto the hards. Of course, he didn't pit under the safety car, so it's a good opportunity now under the VSC. So that means your current race leader is Jonathan Cox. We also have F1 Farth in the pit yet again. Been a disastrous race for Farth, hasn't it?
Well, you know him. I don't know if it's him being too aggressive, but it might be him being too aggressive or just not comfortable around this track because...
Well, there were 2 spins. The first one looked like there was definitely contact. I'm not sure about the second. He was near cars when it happened, so we can't rule that out. But either way, he's going to come out the pits.
Jonathan Cox is now 1.5 seconds ahead of his next closest driver. So he's going to be looking to...
Didn't even realise the VSC had ended at that point. That was quite bad of me. Ascocome and Total P's and Blaze all really close. And Energetic's not far behind as well. Look at this battle here.
It's a 6-way battle, I'd like to say, because Gurman's also in this.
And this could cause other drivers to battle each other. We've obviously got to be careful going too wide through there. Ascocome currently, actually the closest is Blaze and
this is a 6-way battle right now.
Oh, and a bit on the grass there. Is anyone going to make a move into this penultimate corner? We'll see. Everyone looks a bit too far back. Yeah, they are. Oh my goodness, Energetics. And Gurman as well. Gurman right behind. DRS is enabled. So are we going to see any moves? Ascocome, Fatality, goes to defend right across And there's a virtual
Yellow
safety
flag
car.
of yes,
Walker's binned it.
Walker's out.
Walker's
and he's
binned it.
dropped it in the same...
Oh, and there's wing damage. Ascacome. Was that Ascacome with wing damage? I saw some wing come off.
Exists.
It does for me. I think that's your internet being bad for once rather than mine. I'll quickly under VSC. I think that was wing damage there. I'll quickly under VSC invite you to the session. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing, aren't I? Invite friends. You have to excuse me for a second as I invite my co-commentators. Single-handedly trying to hijack the stream with this bad internet.
I'm sorry, Transformer.
Imagine having a bad internet. It'd be awful.
Should we not mention the fact you couldn't race or commentate for 2 to 3 weeks?
No one needs to know. Droftas very close to the back of Emerson now. Emerson's had a very slow getaway. Dan Murphy joining back to spectate or something, and Droftas looking to go round the outside. Is he going to make that move stick? That's incredible. He's got round the outside of Emerson. That was an unbelievable move. He's, of course, on the soft slow, whilst Emerson on the hard, so he has that tyre advantage. One's got past Willem. And this gap under VSC, that 6-way battle seems to have spread out under VSC, so that's a real shame. Pillars also gaining a position on... Total Peace must have spun it, because it said he was right behind it. Behind Pillars. Total Peace must have spun the car.
Days, has he?
Droftas has got past Andreas as well. Of course, on those soft tyres, he's going to be on a charge, but he will have to pit again, of course. But Droftas using those soft tyres to make his way through the field, and he's made 2 positions of 2 very good drivers, very quickly indeed there, of Andreas and Emerson, as we see.
Andreas is last year's race winner around here, so I'm just wondering if he's going to be able to try and replicate it again. Willem's picked himself up a 3-second time penalty.
Well, it'd be incredible if he did, because he started in 19th place. Let's not forget, his F1 Fast sets the fastest lap of the race. But yeah, he started from 19th place, and he is currently in 4th. And he's on for a good result here. And that's certainly significant for the championship, especially with Total Peace down in 13th. As Blaze gets past Fatality. Now this is close. Energetic's close behind him.
Oh, Fatality's gone.
Oh, there's contact! There's huge contact! And that's between Energetics as well. Did Energetics escape that?
No, Energetics avoided it.
It's German and Fatality. That's a huge collision. Total Peace will come through. Oh my goodness. Any news about Phil the Thrill? Well, Phil is currently down in 14th at the moment, unfortunately. Not having a great race.
He's going to be
Jonathan
moving
Cox.
up into 13th, and...
Jonathan
you know
Cox,
what I'm actually extremely surprised about? The man who spun...
Oh, Lost Souls has just binned it. Lost Souls has just binned it. Droftas had just got past him, and he spun it. Sorry to interrupt you, Dan. He's in a very dangerous position.
Not going to be happy at all,
He's managed to rejoin safely. That's good to see. But he'll be furious because, yeah, he's up.
He's got a long trip back
He was up in P3 at the time after just being overtaken by Droftas, but Andreas is right behind. No, sorry, that's Emerson right behind Andreas, and Lost Souls is retired. He's just gone straight off at Sector 1. Seems quite odd.
Willem's around again, spinning, and that's a safety car.
Well, I said don't rule out another safety car. And here we go again, and Droftas on those soft tyres made his way up to P2. Your current race leader, Jonathan Cox. Andreas from 19th to 3rd currently. We've lost 4 drivers already. I really hope this isn't going to be like Season 1, where we have about 10 drivers finishing. I don't know about you.
Well, this seems to be almost like a driver's worst nightmare track. The way
it is a tough track, and it's difficult to overtake here, so I do understand, obviously, and it's a quick circuit. You can lose it quite easy. Jonathan Cox, the race leader, is into the pits. That means Droftas is in the pits as well, and Andreas, the top 4, all pitting.
Blaze is going again. Energetics flying into the pits as well. I do think Energetics did make this mistake earlier in this. He's just been overtaken by One coming into the pits. That's incredible.
That's unbelievable. I haven't seen. Just caught the end of that. I haven't seen anything like that before in league racing.
See, I was on board with Energetics, and I just saw the car, the nose cone just arrive.
Yeah, that was odd. Very odd. But
so I think surely move for the season.
Yeah, definitely going to put that in the overtakes compilation at the end of the season. But so far, the top 2, I think, are pretty much the only ones who haven't pitted in Blaise and Willem.
So Gernman's now back in it after having an absolute nightmare getting collected. But he's coming into the pits. Maybe these guys are going to be coming...
Is Phil disconnected or something? I don't know. It just seems to be having...
Phil is still here.
He's just gone...
He's driving at his own pace. He's not...
Becca saying a very suspicious DNF there. Yeah, I thought the same. But no comment until we hear anything. But it wasn't... Was it that crash that caused the safety car? No, it wasn't.
It could have been that or Willem.
No, I think
spinning.
I think it was the Willem spin.
But to be fair, the Willem spin would make more sense because
I think it was the Willem spin because it wasn't safety car until that happened. But your top
the crash
10
was a long way off. But
yeah,
I've got no comment.
Top 10 currently: Blaise, Willem, Jonathan Cox. Total P's up to P4 now. So after looking out of it after that spin and going down to 13th. He's now in P4. Droftas 5th. Andreas 6th, starting 19th. Emerson 7th. One 8th. Energetics back in at 9th. Infamous Pillars 10th. Fatality 11th. Ascocome 12th. Phil Razor 13th. Nosey 14th. Farth 15th. And German 16th.
I'll tell you what though. The weirdest sight here for me is the two Renaults doing well.
Yeah.
It seems to be our cursed car in VIL. And
well, you've cursed it now, haven't you? With the commentator's curse.
Well,
if you see a Renault bin it now... that is on velocity, so I take no responsibility for that. But
well, I think I'm just going to blame you outright anyway.
I mean, you are the boss, so I guess you technically could. But yeah, it looks like we've had another safety car, and it looks like we got another shake-up in the race, and another restart to go. I wonder if Blaise will be as gun-ho in his restart as Phil Razor was. Because, of course, Phil Gang, I don't know if you saw it, Phil was leading at one point. So...
I'm not sure why Andreas is sort of creating his own safety car at the moment.
Well, he's been overtaken under safety car by Droftas. So...
I'm not... Maybe this was an inter-team thing, you know, maybe...
Emerson's been given a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, despite the fact that they aren't even on the delta at this point. I feel like Energetics is going to have a busy day in the steward's office, because I think there's going to be a lot of pens under safety cars that are going to
Most of them are quite easy, though.
Yeah, they're just simple, take them off. But it will be something to consider when we do announce the
Energetics just avoiding One as well. He almost went into the back of him. And
5-second penalty. Pillars.
I'm just
that was on...
One of these got damage.
That was on
neither one of them has actually... Wait a minute. I think... Nope, neither one of them has got damage. So it's not very severe if I'd say so myself. It's another one of those moments where Codemasters just hate everyone.
Becca's saying, I swear Emerson had a penalty under the safety car last time. No, that was...
Well,
maybe, I don't... Yeah,
Pease
maybe, I don't know. But
penalty.
either yeah, I think it was Pease. But yeah, either way, we've seen quite a few dodgy yellow flag penalties, which make zero sense. And I presume the safety car is in this lap.
If you serve a 5-second penalty, it's very hard to give you the position back, because obviously safety car race situations.
Yeah. Blaise going very slow for this restart. I'll tell you what, Willem was looking very feisty. In fact, Willem has just binned it!
Do you know what? You're a dick to him.
Well, he was looking feisty, and now we have a Renault 1-2. Total P's up in P3. And have we got any close battles?
It's looking like Droftas wants to get past ASAP. Droftas picking up a 3-second time penalty. And also Emerson all over the back of... Emerson making a move around the outside.
One, he's going to have the inside line. He's going to have the inside line. Oh, they're going wide. Oh, and who is that McLaren? That was One, sorry, getting past. And he actually recovered quite well there. And Energetics up to P7.
Andreas actually let him through there. Definitely team orders there.
I'm not sure why that would have been better. Emerson P5. Currently, Droftas is right up behind Total P's. And I tell you what, the two Renaults aren't far apart either. I wonder if there'll be any multi-21. It doesn't look like it, because Jonathan Cox was sizing up a move.
Jonathan Cox, he's not had a good run there though, has he?
He hasn't.
Total P's sliding.
Droftas has. Jonathan Cox
part.
gets a 3-second time penalty. And I'm not sure which one to go on because there's 2 battles, first and second, third and fourth, that are incredibly close. With Droftas looking like...
Go on third and fourth so we can watch first and second ahead
looking
as well.
at the moment anyway that it looks like that Droftas is looking the more likely to pass. But actually, I mean, I say that, Jonathan Cox is so close and Emerson's joined the party, as you say.
Emerson on the... I reckon Emerson's going to go through the 2 of these and get on the back of... Because he's showed an unreal pace, and Gurman's got 3-second penalty for multiple warnings.
No DRS enabled yet, of
and
course.
Andreas has gone into the pits, so I'm not sure what his strategy is, or if he's acquired wing damage somewhere.
Ascacome and Phil Razor, and Phil Razor's got past Ascacome actually. So the Phil gang will be very happy. Jonathan Cox has somehow gone down to P4. What have I missed there?
And we've got Nosey going around the outside of Ascacome, and has he made that stick? He has around the outside, and Ascacome's...
He went on the grass a bit there. But I was just saying, Jonathan Cox has something happened to him because he's gone down to P4, and he was obviously in second position, and we've missed that. Not sure what happened, but he's down in P4. He was P2, and that Renault 1-2 has been shattered very quickly. Droftas very close behind P's, and this is all suiting Blaze very well as the more these battle, the further he can pull away. We see them go through, and Emerson right on the back of Jonathan Cox.
I think his problem here is he's wanting to go for a move that's not on, and he's getting a terrible run through the corners.
Indeed, maybe that. I don't know what happened. Maybe it can't have been. Can't be in the series as a spin. Otherwise, we'd have lost more position.
Total Peas is going to be closing up to the back of Blaze now.
Indeed, he is. But Droftas is not leaving him alone, and neither is Emerson to Jonathan Cox. And Emerson is so close now, even without DRS. Well, DRS is now enabled. Will he have enough to get past? As we see a horrific camera angle. Getting a 3-second penalty. He's surely a bit too far back there to make the move.
Energetics all over the back of One.
Indeed, he is.
Droftas has gone through on... and Peter's in the wall.
Peter's in the wall, indeed he is. And surely will have damage there, and that's devastating for Total Peace. Jonathan Cox back up to 3. There's another safety car. That's our 3rd safety car. I don't think that was enough for a safety car personally, but I'm not the one.
These guys are all hitting each other under a safety car. There's going to be 5-second penalties. Setting out left, right, and centre.
Well, this is chaotic. This is very chaotic. This is reminding me more of season 1.
I wouldn't say this is one of our best displays, but
no, especially after how good Brazil was. But certainly entertaining. We'll give it that. But yeah, as I say, reminding me a bit more of season 1 in terms of the amount of incidents and crashes, and now the 3rd safety car as well.
It might just be the curse of Australia, people hitting each other.
Yeah, very true.
Australia might just almost pump some rage into everyone, and they just want to kill each other. I think that might be what it is.
Well, Total Peas is down in P12. Will he pit? Depends. He's got damage. He's surely gonna have to pit. He's missing his left front end plate.
One's also coming in. Energetics is coming to the pit every single safety car.
Well, you know what? He just loves his pit crew. He also apparently has an unlimited amount of tyres. He goes onto the mediums and keeping his pit crew very busy.
I think
Total Peas. What's he going to do?
If I'm not wrong, we can't actually have another safety car for the rest of this race.
Yeah, I think we are. Total Peas is serving his 5-second pen in the pits, which is not ideal for him, considering it's an unfair one. He's going to get the wing change, and he's gone onto the medium tyres. So, still Blaze leads for the safety car. Droftas in 2nd. Jonathan Cox has managed to recover to 3rd. Emerson 4th. Phil Gang, you are up to 5th. Gurman in 6th, Farth in 7th, Ascacome in 8th. And I tell you what, Farth in 7th, he spun twice at the very start of the race. So these safety cars have helped him out massively because he's now in 7th. We've
got Willem, who's going to be absolutely blessed by this because he's a minute and 9 seconds behind.
Well, is he going to catch up to the safety car in time, though? I mean, that's a hell of a lot of time.
You're going to see that gap close extremely quickly.
Yeah,
here we go. Look at it go. Yeah. Look at it go down. It's 30 seconds.
As I was saying, Ascacome in 8th, One 9th, Energetics rounding out the top 10, Pillars in 11th, Andreas, Fatality, Nolsey, Total Peas, and Willem, who's racing to catch the safety car. But look how far he is back from the safety car.
Droftas has actually just touched the back. There we go.
Yeah.
And there's your severe collision, which wasn't very severe.
And he hasn't. Yeah, it was so severe that he's got absolutely no damage, and neither has Blaze. So that's how severe it was. I just hope they're both okay.
It was more of a French kiss than a absolute ramming in the back, but.
Well, I do hope both drivers are okay because that looked very, very serious.
Well, we'll be seeing them both in the medical centre, especially Blaze for that whiplash he will have
100%, yep.
suffered from getting hit in the back that hard. But
at that speed as well. So yeah, we're under the safety car for the third time this race. Becca's saying, wait, so what happens if we do get another safety car now? Well, then I guess the game is lying, because I think it says there's a maximum of 3 safety cars in a race. So if that happens, Becca,
to be fair, everything likes making us look like mugs, so...
Yeah, exactly.
We might have another one. I've got a brilliant camera angle, this Renault right now, and it's stunning.
I unfortunately haven't got the same
helicopter view, just
I do
looking
love
down
the helicopter view. I had that last week when I was commentating with you.
You know what? I just don't feel like the stream likes it.
No, because last week I had it when I was co-commentating and I wasn't the stream. Like I wasn't controlling the stream, and now you have it when you're not controlling the stream.
Well, the good thing about the helicopter view is they seem to just follow them around the whole track as well.
It's a really nice view. You're making me jealous. Can you stop talking about it, please? It's really upsetting. I'm gonna cry.
Well, as we are...
Oh, Williams now finally catching up to the end of this train. I wonder if the safety car will be in this lap.
The people who have massively been blessed, though, by the safety car is going to be Gurman and Farf.
They have been blessed massively by that, because they were out, especially Farf, he spun twice. Gurman also had an incident in the wall.
I'm just wondering if anyone else is going to run into the back of each other.
You've also got to be careful, obviously, with the cold tyres here. You can so easily spin it. As we saw with Willem, actually, when he was in P2 at the time, he obviously spun into the wall.
Is all over the back of the Blaze.
Blaze is now, he's doing his second safety car restart. And look at Jonathan Cox. Jonathan Cox has had an amazing safety car restart. They're side by side. Going down for the first corner. Jonathan Cox has the inside line. He's got the move done. Has he? Oh, Droftas has gone off.
Droftas is off.
And he's out.
And he's retired.
He's out. He's lost his wheel. That is, I mean...
He's not lost his wheel, but that's terminal damage to the front, and Emerson's now gone up the inside of Jonathan Cox.
So he has,
and Jonathan Cox has almost left it. These guys aren't, it's almost like...
They're not giving me a chance to keep up with all the action
suicidal as soon as they get past these guys today.
Certainly safety car restarts. Someone has to die at the safety car restart. That seems to be the law.
Emerson's now hunting.
Farf as well is 2/10 behind Ascacome.
In fourth and is hunting down P3. Ascacome is also unreal how quick he is there.
Although Farf is only 2 seconds behind. Knowlesy's round.
Knowlesy is round.
And he'll be frustrated about that.
With no wing damage, so that's just a spin.
Ascacome 2/10, he's right behind Phil Razor. Is he going to go for a move? No, he's thinking about it. And that is Gurman and Farf. And they've both gone onto the grass. They locked wheels, and that's really...
Nicholas Pillars is just rounded as well.
Oh dear.
It is. I don't even know anymore.
This is. Oh, look at this traffic jam here. Andreas now getting past Gurman. And look at this train as well. You've got Energetics ahead of them. And Gurman looking to potentially get back. Behind him, you have Fatality, then Total P's, who'll be desperate to get back in the points. Total P's going side by side with Fatality. He's going to have to go around the long way if he wants to get the move done. He's a bit on the grass. Is Fatality going to squeeze him out?
Also
he's got the inside. There's a bit of contact, but he's got through.
Dead. Farf is very dead. That's an extreme crash, and we will be seeing him later on in
oh my goodness. I missed the crash because I was on board with Total P's, who's making a move. I can't keep up with everything that's going on.
That was a spectacular one.
Oh, now I'm frustrated that I haven't seen it. Please, someone send that in. I want to see it. It's a shame you didn't get it on stream. I do apologise, but yeah, currently Blaze leading from Emerson, Jonathan Cox, Phil Razor, Asuka Kome, One, Energetics, Andreas.
The closest battle at the moment is going to be One and Asuka Kome chasing down Phil Razor.
Yeah, it's a three-way battle at the moment.
And you know what? These guys have only been... Asuka Kome's only been hit twice. But he loves Phil.
Well, maybe they have something going on behind the scenes. I don't know, but he's got One right behind him now, so maybe he's going to be starting a new relationship with him as DRS is enabled. But I tell you what, it's Asuka Kome who seems to be having the better run, despite how close One was originally. And Emerson is looking to take the race lead from Blaze. Bit too far back there, is he?
Get it there.
No, he's not got...
No.
That's good defending from Blaze. He positioned the car very well indeed. And for now, Blaze is still the race leader.
You know what? We're only a third of the way through this race. Two-thirds of the way through this race.
We only have 14 runners.
Guys, just don't crash out and you might get points.
Yeah, pretty much. That is the message. Total P is currently the last of the points holders. German gets a 3-second time penalty. We're currently on board with Emerson, who's only 2/10 behind Blaze. Is he going to be close enough for this DRS zone? Well, Blaze has pulled away a bit through there.
I do think
Asuka Kome is close
Andreas
behind.
will be taking the championship lead, won't he?
Yes, he
If
will
it
as it
ends like
stands. No, he won't actually, sorry. Because he will be on 4 points. No, he will just still be behind. Asuka Kome now going for a move on the Ferrari of Phil Razor. Oh, Phil Razor's locked up.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's contact. Phil Razor's now in the
Phil's...
wall. He's got damage, but he's got slight damage, but he's okay. We haven't had another death, thank God. But Emerson now right behind Blaze. I mean, I think if... Yeah, Becca's saying it's an entertaining race to watch, though. Yeah, it is, but we're having a lot of deaths on the screen. Phil Razor's in the pits for that wing damage. Emerson takes the lead into turn one.
And German's going to be passed possibly by Total P. They're going side by side in the track record of side by side. Oh, and they've made it. They've both survived.
That is a
and
relief
we can breathe
to see.
A sigh of relief.
Yeah, that is massively a relief. Phil Razor in the pits, obviously, because of that damage.
And Jonathan Cox. And Blaze is also dead as well.
Yeah, Blaze connection as well.
I do honestly, I do think that these guys are getting suicidal as soon as they get past. I
really apologise for the stream in terms of I'm not catching every crash and stuff, but there's so many. So many overtakes and crashes. I can't keep up. We need multiple race directors at this rate as far as leads the session. Fatality has got past Blaze, and I tell you what, Wilhelm is looking for the move, and he's done it on Blaze. Blaze having problems. Has he got damage? Yes, he's got damage. Blaze has got serious damage into his wing. Energetics right behind One. So that's really unfortunate for Blaze, who's been leading the race for quite a long time, but he's got serious wing damage, and he'll have to come into the pits.
I think this might be quite an entertaining interview of the drivers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have a lot to say on the madness that we've seen so far on track. We're currently on board with Energetics because he's the closest out of the top 10 to another driver, and he's very close to One. He's going to have DRS, but One is also going to have the DRS of Asuka Kome. That's the fight for the final podium position. Energetics is going to be slightly too far back at the moment, and Emerson is starting to pull away. Jonathan Cox obviously moving up to second because of that crash that Blaze had, and he's now got a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. Things go from bad to worse. Pillars
and
also into
the... catching a massive slide there.
But at least he caught it.
He's not looking too comfortable.
Because otherwise we'd be looking at another death possibly in this Grand Prix. One now the closest on track to another driver in the top 10. He is closing up to Asuka Kome.
We're about to have a battle for the wooden spoon between Pillars and Blaze that really not had the greatest
They're in the pits, both of them.
And I don't feel like they're going to have enough of a thing to save them, as some drivers have been lucky about.
Lucky about. We'll have to wait for next year for the finishing of that sentence. Andreas, 5/10 behind Energetics. Now that's, I mean, from Asuka Kome, as he locks up there, from Asuka Kome to One to Energetics to Andreas to Total P's, it's incredibly close, and Total P's is now latching on to the back of this battle here, and One getting very close there, but I think it's because he broke very late, and I think Energetics is going to have a run here because of that poor exit. But his teammate in Andreas is also getting some serious DRS and slipstream, as is Total P's. Energetics too far back, they all are, but they're going to have DRS a second time. Who's going to be closest? It's still Energetics by the looks of it, but too far back to get a move done at the moment.
I'm wondering how many positions are going to change are based on penalties, because I've seen a lot pop up.
There has been
Haven't been able to keep up with it though, and we've got Willem all over the back of Fatality. Now,
yeah, he is very close indeed. Total P's also getting very close to Andreas as Phil Razor does the fastest lap of the race. Currently out the points though, so that won't particularly matter at the moment. As Asuka Kome gets a 3-second time penalty, that's significant in third place. So we watch Willem and Fatality battle. Becca saying, One is an insane race from the back of the grid. Yes, he has. He, of course, started last. He is currently in 4th. Andreas also started in 19th. He is currently 6th. So there have been some mad movers in this race. And Total P's is very close to Andreas. He's looking for the move. This is the 2 championship contenders.
oh,
P's has
Total
lost
P's
it.
out of the
He's
race.
out of the race. That's huge for the championship. That's absolutely massive for the championship. And there was a bit of contact. I think he lost it. And Andreas and P's coming together there. And that means Andreas will definitely be taking the championship lead. Because obviously Droftas is out. And now Total P's is out as well. And unbelievable. We now only have 13 runners. Incredible.
So,
Absolutely
one
incredible.
more DNF and Phil Razor will get his fastest lap point.
Exactly, and well, he's 6.7 seconds back. And Wilhelm is looking for the move now on Fatality. Fatality has gone too deep, and Wilhelm has made the move. Fatality's just on the brakes, a bit too late. Energetics. We've still got this battle though for P3 of Asuka Kome, One. Some sick rhymes. Energetics.
Blaze now
and
setting the
Andreas
fastest
a bit
lap for the
further
race.
back.
So Phil not going to be getting that fastest lap point. Asuka Kome's getting very wobbly on the exit of that corner. Now,
Indeed.
predictions on the top 3.
Well, I mean, we don't really know about the penalty situation.
Well,
but
this is the risk section.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take because they might not even finish in the points.
I think Emerson.
And Fatality and Willem are together again, and
Yeah,
it looks
Willem
like Willem
spun,
had an issue.
I think, or had a moment. I do think. I mean, Jonathan Cox. I mean, those mediums of Emerson are gonna wear a lot quicker than those hards of Jonathan Cox. So
We've only got
Jonathan
5
Cox,
laps remaining in this
but
race.
Jonathan Cox is gaining. He's only 1.1 seconds behind. Tell you who else is gaining? One on Asuka Kome. I just love how that rhymes. Energetics as well behind him. Andreas obviously a lot further back after that, coming together with Peas, who is the.
Well, I'm just wondering if we're going to be seeing drive petitions saying that the Melbourne Grand Prix is actually unsafe
Yes,
for
yeah,
F1
well,
drivers.
We've seen
because-
some pretty horrific crashes today, so it wouldn't surprise me if it is unsafe. The drivers feel that way, and I wouldn't blame them. Yeah, rip to the stewards, as Becca says, and there's a lock up there from Energetics that will frustrate him, although he's still gaining on One. One dropping a bit back from Asuka Kome, but I tell you what, Jonathan Cox is now in DRS zone of the race leader, Emerson. Perhaps those mediums
he's picked
are
up another
going off.
3-second penalty.
That's not going to help, though, because even if he does win this on track, that's not going to help. Energetics also getting a 3-second penalty. That's going to be frustrating because, yeah, of course, winning it on track, it looks like it might come down to penalties considering how close we are. Fatality's now retired.
Fatality's now retired. So that means
there's
Phil
his
Razor's
car.
going to get the last point.
Phil Razor's about to go past his. Well, no, she's not about to, but.
And if we get another 2, everyone gets points.
Points for everyone. Well, this is now with 12. With 12 runners, this really is like season 1, as you see the stricken car of Fatality there. We have Gurman in the pit. Gurman is in the pits. He's going on to the soft tyre, I presume. He is for the end of the race.
I think he's going to be going for that.
I think he'll come
lap.
out. I think he'll still come
Maybe.
out. Oh, that moves Phil Gang. That moves Phil into the points. But he's going to come out in front of Phil Gurman into 9th, I think, just about. Watch it. Yeah, no, he is. Closest
Jonathan
battle.
Cox is gaining massively.
Yeah,
on,
this is the
Emerson.
battle for the lead. Track. And Jonathan Cox. And this is actually the closest battle apart from Blaze and Infamous Pillars. I think Blaze is about to pass Infamous Pillars. He is.
And he has. Yeah.
They're going to be. He cut across quite dangerously there. There's a bit of contact. Pillars very frustrated, I think. But Ascacome gets another 3-second penalty. His podium is probably in jeopardy from all these penalties he seems to be getting. And perhaps we won't be seeing Ascacome on the podium again just because of that. Oh, and that's someone else! It's Ascacome! We're definitely not going to be seeing him on the podium now because he's got wing damage and he's gone off. We've seen so many people go off at that corner, haven't we?
It
seems to be that same corner. That same corner, they just lose
comes into the pit, so he's going to be coming out behind Willem, and Willem's been saved.
Yeah,
from
Willem
almost a whole lap behind.
Well, you say he's been saved, but at the
P6.
same time, he also screwed his race because he was P2 at one point before that crash. But yeah, in terms of recovery, it saved his recovery up into P6. Jonathan Cox, look how close he's getting through that first sector. This is the closest battle on track, and it's the battle for the lead. Don't go anywhere for these final 3 laps. It looks like this is going to go right to the wire. And Energetics is now on for a podium, just behind One. He's in DRS range as well. That's the second closest battle on track.
Infamous Pillars now in to the pits as well. So Red Bull's had a bit of a nightmare.
He's retired in the pits. We've got 11 finishes.
And Gunman's had another issue as well. He's down into 11th.
Oh my goodness. Well, if he retires, then everyone's guaranteed points. But I hope he doesn't, because this doesn't look good when we don't have many finishes. We've been good all season in terms of how many finishes we've had, but this feels a bit like Season 1 again. Is Melbourne perhaps the Monaco now? Maybe Melbourne is the Monaco for this division. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think
out.
we're even going to say this many soon. And to be fair, I feel like the break week's coming in at a good time because there's no race next week. And yeah. I think these guys need a break.
To cool off after this race. And look how close Jonathan Cox is now getting. He might have a chance in the second DRS zone here. Onto the second straight he goes. 4 tenths back. Probably. I mean, he could make a lunge here. Although Emerson just going slightly defensive there. Just to make Jonathan not get any funny ideas about making that move. Energetics getting mighty close as well to One for that final podium spot. But we'll stay on board at the moment with Jonathan Cox and Emerson Hilton, as this is the battle for the lead.
Well, we've got One getting pulled and towed in by Energetics. Obviously, these two are on identical strategies. They've been almost mirroring each other all race. So,
indeed, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be huge for the championship in terms of Andreas. 5th, when all his rivals have not scored points. It's going to be huge. As we see Jonathan Cox get incredibly close now, he's going to be able to make the move, surely, if he can just not have a bad exit out the final corner. But yeah, Andreas, he will now have, with that 5th position and those 10 points, he will now have he was 5 points behind Pease, so he will now have a 5-point lead over Pease with this result, and he will become the championship leader once again. Here it is for the lead, round the outside. Good defending from Emerson, very good defending, and Nova says go on Emerson, and well, his reserve replacement is doing an excellent job currently in P1, but surely can't defend here. He's going to do his best, but he has.
And the switchback is an option.
Jonathan Cox tries to go for it, but meanwhile, look in the background, Energetics and One. Energetics nearly getting that move done.
This is a matter of time for both drivers here.
You've got to say, unless there's a mistake or contact, that's in the grass. One's gone a bit in the grass. Energetics incredibly close. Nova's saying, I think Emerson might get a puncture. He is on very old medium tyres, and he's clearly struggling for pace.
And here we go. One's actually just let Energetics through.
Oh, and
we do know they are good friends.
Maybe as well the penalty situation. It might not just be because of the penalty situation. Perhaps Energetics has more penalties.
Here we go.
Whatever. Either way,
One is a reserve as well, so
Emerson is now. Jonathan Cox going for the move. Has he got enough? Going round the outside. He's forced onto the grass, but he luckily doesn't lose it. And meanwhile, One right up behind Energetics as well. He's sticking right with him. But this battle for the lead continues to be fascinating.
Picking up a 3-second time penalty there as well. So maybe he knew it. He'd maybe lost it on the end. But Emerson now is going to be under so much pressure from Jonathan Cox.
He's defending many times, and look at that. Emerson's keeping it right in the middle of the racetrack, which is what you want to do.
Jonathan Cox is going to get such a good run here. I feel like it's going to be done before the corner here.
Well, we've said that a couple of laps before. He's just got to get better braking. Thing is, he hasn't got the inside line. He's having to go around the outside. He's going to get the inside. He's got the inside line. Part. But look at the traction. Oh, a little bit of contact, nearly spun. Emerson is through. He is still in P1.
Emerson's defending is incredible.
I mean, his positioning of the car is absolutely incredible. He knows how to position that car for the defence. And no matter how good the run is that Jonathan Cox gets, either Emerson defends well enough to force him on the dirty side of the track.
We've got a bit of action as well from Blaze and Phil Razor. Phil is under pressure now from Blaze, and Blaze sends it down the inside, and they're both off into the ground. That's a
disappointing crash from both drivers there. Not really sure who was at fault from first viewing, but they will both be disappointed.
I would argue that Blaze probably he outbroke himself and did push Phil off the track.
Well, we will leave that to the stewards regardless. Meanwhile, the battle of the front is still 4/10, and I tell you what, Energetics is closing on Jonathan Cox. We didn't even realise, and that means that Emerson is going to come home. We actually didn't even realise it was the last home. He doesn't get that puncture. He comes home P1 on track. Where's he going to go because of penalties? Energetics wins on penalties. Unbelievable scenes.
That's an
Andreas gets a podium. Andreas gets a podium.
That's an Alfa Romeo 1-3.
From 19th on the grid, Andreas gets P3 and One gets 4th from 20th.
And Asker Kome is going to be coming across the line in 8th place. Then we're going to be followed
Phil Razor and Blaze are still close.
Razor.
This is going to go right to the line. I think Phil Razor must have it, but on track anyway. We'll see about penalties. Phil Razor has it.
He does.
And German is definitely going to be wrapping up. But congratulations to our race winner, Energetics. Do you mind inviting them? Because I've also got the stream on.
Yeah.
Energetics, obviously, our race winner, Emerson and Andreas will hopefully
just
be
joining us. Just realised I've got to suggest, so you need to open up this party.
Yeah. 2 seconds. Yep. There we go, it's public now. So yeah, Gerben's about to come across the line now to round up the grid. Congratulations though to Energetics in a race with only 11 finishes, and we had a full grid, 9 retirements, and we had some spectacular crashes, not all caught on camera. Driver of the day goes to One, who came from P20 to P4. Andreas as well deserves certainly to almost be joint driver of the day, or maybe some would argue ahead of him because he came from P19 to P3. It's certainly a great day for Andreas in the championship as we see Energetics celebrate with a very cringy dance on the podium, but he is the race winner. He won't care. We have Andreas joining us.
Hello.
Now he is the 3rd place finisher, so I think we'll start with you, Andreas. It's good to see everyone in the party anyway. Andreas, you started 19th on the grid, was it?
Yeah, I started 19th, right at the back.
Yeah, 19th.
That's an incredible job to get to P3, and I guess obviously it's disappointing that that battle with Peas came to an end with Peas in the wall, but it's certainly good for your championship. I mean, both Droftas and Peas, your nearest contenders, crashing out and no points, and then of course you with this podium.
Yeah, I'm really happy with me. I did not really expect a podium out of this race, and what a crazy race, like 3 safety cars and a couple of VSCs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just kept focused, just kept focusing, just driving my own race. I was a little bit unlucky after the 2nd safety car. There was Peace that lost control in the final corner, and Droftas had to back up, and I tried to go around the inside after the safety car restart. Got a little bit of damage about that, had to pit, that's why I ended up at the very back there. But luckily the 3rd safety car came in and kind of saved me back in contention, so after that I just kept out of the penalties, and my tires kind of died at the end, so I had nowhere to keep up. But man, I'm really happy with this podium.
I mean, as you should be, and I just noticed actually, you're the only one out of the 11 that finished who didn't get a single penalty, so well done on that P3. We'll come to Emerson now. P2 for you. Of course, you won it on track, lost it on penalties, but you still got to be happy with that race. I know it was absolutely crazy, so I'm not really sure where to start with that one. But either way, P2, it's a respectable result.
I mean, of a 5-second penalty which I did get, I don't think I really should have received it because it was under the safety car and Droftas was lagging and he ended up going behind me and it said I had an illegal overtake on him and then he ended up
Yeah.
jumping ahead of me again. So, I mean, I'm only reserving, so it's not the
Yeah.
end of the world. But yeah, it was a fun race. I mean, I just took advantage of the safety car and just ended up. My tyres was very much on the limit at the end, and obviously John was behind me on hards, which were the superior tyre. And I was literally just battling just to try and save my life, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did because it was absolutely incredible. I mean, so many times me and Velocity were here in commentary thinking, oh, he's surely got the move done, and yet you've positioned the car, you've braked slightly later, you've just got a better traction or whatever, and you kept the position on track. It was really great to see, and yeah, I mean, a really good effort from you. So congratulations on the P2.
Thank you.
Right, we come to our race winner, who was very close at the end, but we had no idea about the penalty situation, and that is VIL Energetics. Wow, what a win for you! That's your first win of the season, isn't it, for VIL?
Yeah, it's just under consideration because I heard Emerson his interview and he says he's getting the penalty unfair. If he said it in, then you get the win, then I've got to get in P2, so I'm happy with P2.
Well, either way, let's for now just say that you've got P1 because you've got P1 as it stands.
I don't want the P1 in this kind of race. What happened this race?
Yeah, well, it was a crazy race. It was a crazy race.
I'm curious of what happened. Yeah.
You were nearly wiped out actually in one of the incidents. I think it was between Gurman was caught up in it. I can't remember who it was. And at one point I think the car just missed you. There was so many retirements. But either way, you know, you've got some good points on the board, and you should be happy at least with that. Even if the race was obviously very well, it was frustrating in terms of the finishes.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like I maybe shut the door on Pillars one time, but I didn't see him on the inside. That's my point of view. And I avoided a crash with fatality where Gunman came into. I just avoided it.
Well, it was crazy
because...
because...
add to that really quick. I'm really proud of you, Hilke, because at least you had really good pace in the final stint to position yourself in the position that you are now in the top 3.
That's true.
It's very good on you, man. Very good.
Considering at one point we thought you were out of it, but I mean the amount of safety cars, to be fair, no one was really out of it in the end. But yeah, I mean at some points, obviously you didn't have an ideal qualifying, so still a good result, and congratulations anyway. Congratulations on the win if that stands. Either way, congratulations on the second if it doesn't. Good job. Alright, that concludes the Australian Grand Prix, and it's been an absolutely crazy race with unfortunately only 11 finishes. But thank you everyone for taking part. Congratulations to the podium sitters, and thank you for Velocity joining. Better late than never. And he did an alright job in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we'll be back here on Saturday at 7:30 PM with Droftas and Pillars taking the helm on the comms. Maybe we'll be getting a special guest as well for the race, and we will see you then.
Also worth mentioning that although it's break week for Division 1, it's not break week for Division 2 with Zandvoort next Saturday. So the next time after Saturday, we have a break week for Division 1. So we'll see you either way on Saturday. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.
It was nuts. I was like...